Hi, my name is Bunny and welcome to my channel. This is the first video that I'll be making in what I hope to be like somewhat of a series of simply my growth in sewing. I've been sewing for a pretty long time and I've always enjoyed doing it. I think she wants to say hello. This is going to be my journey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be making a 3-piece set. Granted, I've honestly already made the skirt like a long time ago. I'm going to tell you right now, the skill set for that skirt was not very high. But this is what we'll be making it from. This cute little, what's it called? I guess like lumberjack type of shirt. My husband and I had matching pajama sets, so I'll be making mine out of my own pajama set and he'll be keeping his the same. But yeah, let's get into this. So here is the skirt that I mentioned earlier. It's a front open skirt with a buckled clip. It is not the best work that I've done, and there's definitely a lot of rough seams on the inside. The pleats don't iron out very easily due to material, so we'll try this again next time. So I'm going to start with the bralette. Originally, I thought I had a pattern, but sadly I didn't, so I ended up taking a break, watched a few DIYs on YouTube, and came up with my own pattern by using a bra that I already had and a scrap piece of fabric. In order to create the template, basically just pin the cloth, fit it around the bra with a middle dart. You do this by just pinching from the nipple area to the top, and then after it's pinned, trace it with chalk or a marker. I did make a mistake, and please don't be like me. I didn't have enough fabric, so I was just kind of trying to eyeball it. But in the future, just unpin it and get another larger piece of fabric. So once you have your pattern traced onto your fabric, start cutting it out. I'm not gonna lie, as I was cutting this and I was starting to see the shape, I thought I completely messed this up. But I was not willing to start over. So, you see me fiddling with it. I just had to trust the process and not give up. But once I pinned that bad girl together and I turned her inside out, boom, you got a boob cut. So here you see me tracing it onto paper. I believe that this is optional, but I traced it on the paper just to make sure my pattern lasts longer. But as you see, where I was talking about earlier, how I used the fabric that was too short, so I ended up having to kind of eyeball where to continue the measurement. So now that we have our pattern piece, we're going to trace it onto the material that we'll be using, and we are going to cut it out. So as I'm doing this, I forgot to do it myself, but make sure that you label which is the right cup and which is the left cup. I ended up messing myself up a bit with that later when I put the top layer with the lining. So you see I have my worked with material, and then I also have a black lining that I put underneath for stability and just to make sure it didn't come out too thin. I forgot to record myself doing this, but make sure you also cut out 2 boob cups for your outer layer, your lining, as well as an outer layer lining for the body part that will be going around under your breast and around your back, and 2 straps in order to tie the bag. I didn't have enough footage to show the order of the process, unfortunately, but it is important to sew your straps first, then moving on to your bralette cup. So sew them right sides together and then have the straps sandwiched in between each one. That way, when you turn it inside out, it will all be attached as one. And lastly, you sew the body piece, the outer and the lining together. Once your pieces are individually sewn, I iron them flat to keep the seams straight and then go back to sew them together. And if you're wondering, yes, this would have been the perfect time to top stitch, but I forgot. Last step for the bralette is to sew in your method of closure. So originally I wanted to use eyelets to give it the corset style in the back, but instead I went with the elastic just because I didn't have enough material left over to make the tie string for a corset. And this is the bralette. So far, part 2, making the panties, I start with the straps again so I can make sure that they're sandwiched in between the outer fabric and the lining for the panties. So when you're sewing the straps, you have to turn them inside out, and I usually use a safety pin. But oh my gosh, my safety pin broke inside of the fabric. So finishing up the panties, I realized they're pretty small, so they're not YouTube appropriate. So here is the finished product with some shorts. So the skirt, I'm not a big fan. It came out shorter than I intended, and the pleats are everywhere. But, we already discussed this. We're going to try it again. So I couldn't show the panties, but the idea was to have it be a stringy V-cut that showed right above the skirt. Okay, so this is the final fit. I pulled the makeup on. I tried to do this roller set, and it's like, I did it yesterday, but like just the day after, and I already had to like sling all of it to one side. Because the curls are messed up, and that's not why you're here, but so this is the final fit. As you see, I really like that I went for the curved thing, because I feel like if these were triangles, like I'd be far more like pressed up and it would be uncomfortable. But like, yeah, It's pretty low neck, but I mean, I can't help the fact that I have breasts, so like this hair keeps getting in my eye. This is the finished piece. I think that from what I had, I think I used yeah, the pajama shirt. Like from that to this, I'm impressed. Please don't forget to subscribe. This is again my first video that I've ever done, and I really appreciate the support, clicking, uh, posting, sharing, whatever support you can give, even if it's just simply looking at the first 5 seconds and saying, nah, it's not for me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.